We had a client that we worked with, and she was really struggling with profitability. She kept raising tuition. She actually did 3 tuition increases within a 15-month cycle, and she still could not catch up. So I helped her work with our 6 money leaks in schools, and she only used 3 of the 6 money leaks and cut her expenses by 50%. 50. She did not fire anyone. She did not slash any of her programs, and she did not work more hours. Again, the 6 money leaks are not hacks or spreadsheets. These are patterns. They are small decisions that feel so normal that your school does, but they quietly drain your school's profit. So if you've ever wondered why you're working so hard, but still not seeing the return, this is your first step to clarity. Click the link in the show notes and find out what it's actually costing you.
Welcome to the Schools of Excellence podcast, where we transform everyday leadership struggles into powerful legacies that impact generations. I'm your host, Chanie, a 20-year veteran of school leadership who has helped hundreds of school leaders achieve what many thought was impossible through our signature programs, School Leadership HQ and Enrollment Engine. With our battle-tested frameworks and blueprints, leaders have achieved 90% parent retention, 50% less staff turnover, 15% improved profit margins, and increased enrollment by 25%. My mission is simple: to revolutionize school leadership by elevating the skills, the habits, and mindset of passionate leaders ready to create lasting change. Join me as we build your legacy of excellence, one transformative conversation at a time. Welcome back to the Schools of Excellence podcast. Today is a little bit of a personal episode for those of you that are interested in getting a little bit behind the scenes of how I plan our family's summer. So there are a lot of people that walk through summer like it's this productivity hat, right? This like magical window of time where you catch up, you reset the house, you fix this, declutter the pantry, all of that kind of stuff. And somehow also like, let's rest a little bit and maybe hit the beach at some point. Several years ago, Mayor and I really decided that we were done with survival summers, and we really wanted to treat summer as the map of the entire year. So in today's conversation, I'm really going to take you way behind the scenes into our real life in the way that we plan our summer as a couple, as a family, and as individual humans who want to lead a meaningful and purposeful life. So I love summer. It's my favorite season. For those of you that have been following the show for a while know this. And there's so many different things that I've brought into our family life and our business over the years. And I really created a very specific method of how I go about it. I gave it an acronym. It's IRER. And each of these things stand for a specific thing that's done, right? There is intention, there is reflection, there are experiences, and there's rhythm. Let's start in the beginning of the summer, right? So the summer actually starts being planned in January. And that sounds like, oh my gosh, whoa, that's really far out. Yes, the reason that our family starts planning for summer in January is because in January is when all the overnight camps put out their registration for our kids. Our 2 older kids go to overnight camp in the summer. So January is actually when we start the first part of the summer, which is the intention of what is this summer about, right? So are both of our older kids, Mendel and Goldie, are they both going to overnight camp for both months, July and August? Are they going for 1 month? What are they doing a different month of the year? Are the kids going to day camp? Are we doing a big family trip? What is this summer going to be about? That starts in January already. And the other thing that we do in January time when we're looking at summer is really thinking about the theme of what the summer is going to be about. Because again, the theme really runs through the entire year because it's the map. Last year, our theme was very focused on connection that would keep us tethered to ourselves, to each other, to our kids, to our faith. Mayor lost his dad last year, and the grief that Mayor had walked through left a real imprint on the soul of our family. And so this year, when we were thinking about our theme, I really wanted it to be joy, the kind of joy that is a house filled with laughter again. We've been to hell and back, and myself, Mayor, the kids, and we really just needed more joy and more peace in our home. What really prompted that was we were watching some of our old family like home videos. It was raining one day, and I don't remember, it was like one Sunday it was raining. And we couldn't go outside. We couldn't, we were just kind of like stuck in the house, if you will. And we were on Google Photos and we were just watching old videos. And one of the things that I noticed, and then Mayor had noticed also individually, and then we spoke about it that evening together, was how much joy and laughter Mayor had in those videos. Like, he was laughing and joking, and like the kids were all over him, and he was on the floor, and just being Mayor. And he didn't do that this year for lots of reasons. And I was like, we need joy again. Like, I need joy again. And so what we looked at for this summer was going back to our anchors, right? We don't have goals for the summer. We have these anchors and these rhythms that we protect in the summer. So I'm going to tell you 3 of them. And then like this becomes kind of the guidance for the year. So every single year in the summer, we do a couples retreat. Every single year, we do a couples retreat. We have done this for years, about 10 years at this point. So even when our kids were really little, we figured out a way to do it. Maybe it was one night or 2 nights. Some seasons we went away for like 10 days. It depends. But it's a couples retreat, just the 2 of us. And it is not an escape from the kids. It is a return to us. And your intention matters. The intention of the couples retreat is not to get away from our kids. We love our children. Our couples retreat is a return to us. We update our family mission. We talk about money, connection, intimacy. What do we need more of? What does our relationship need? What does the soul of our relationship need? So that's one anchor that we always have. The second one is a family experience every summer. So sometimes it might be something as simple as a full day local adventure. Sometimes we go abroad. Sometimes we do something locally for a couple of days. Sometimes we'll go to a lake house. What matters is that we experience something together as a family, and our kids know that we are not just a family who works and goes to school. We are a family that plays, explores, and learns new things together. So that is another core anchor in our summer, is a family experience. The third anchor is a home project, not 10, not a full renovation like we did this year. But in the summer, we do one home project. And the goal of the home project is to bring order, beauty, or functionality to our space, right? And it's really about our sanctuary matters. Our home is our sanctuary. How do we bring the functionality and the beauty to our home? And so we pick one summer project. So over the years that we've lived here in Florida, one summer we did the bookshelf. Another summer we built the home entryway where the kids put their backpacks. A different summer we did the kids' closets because they only had like these wire bars or stuff like that. So every summer we've done one home project. Okay. So now let's go through the method, right? Intention, reflection, experience, and rhythm. So the intention is, before anything goes into the calendar, we ask, what do we want this summer to be about, right? So that's what I was saying before. This summer is about joy. So we're asking questions. What does the marriage need? What do our kids need? What do I need? Okay. If you don't decide or name the intention, the season will decide for you. And so really being intentional about, what does your relationship need? So Esther Perel, she's got a great thing that she talks about where every single couple will go through 5 marriages in their lifetime. And if you're lucky, you will do the 5 marriages with the same person. What are the 5 marriages? Before kids, little kids, young kids, teenagers. No, I messed that up. It's before kids, young kids, teenagers, empty nest, and legacy. 5 seasons, right? And so what is the season that we're in? And how are we going to be intentional about what our relationship needs? The second thing is the reflection, right? What rhythms worked last year? What worked about the carpool? What drained us about the carpool? Where did we overdo things? Where did we overextend our family? What commitments did we like about our faith and our community? Where do we like where we showed up with our synagogue and our community this year? Where did we most feel like a family? All of these questions are so powerful because they ensure that we don't repeat patterns that didn't serve our family. So we pause and we review, right? Like, what worked really well, what did we love, and what season are we going into? And where do we want to be intentional, right? Where do we want to show up better for ourselves, for our health, for our wellness, for our community, right? Big decisions happen in the reflection phase and in the intention setting phase. It's so interesting because when I think about our couple retreats, when we go away together, on the retreat, we typically do some sort of hike. So if we're going to a place like mountains, amazing, we hike the mountains. But if we're going to flatter places, then we'll go, to a beach or to a lake area or whatever it is. But there's always motion. And what's so powerful about these experiences that we do together is I can literally remember the mountain that we were on and the conversation that we had on that mountain as a turning point for different things that we still do in our relationship. And it's so powerful. Like, one of the things I remember distinctly is we spoke about what personal responsibility means in our family. And we had done that. We were in a valley in the Italian Alps. We had been there, I think it was 4 years ago. We were there for a full week and we were hiking in one of the valleys of the Alps. And there was a stream there. And I'll never forget it because there were all these like stepping stones and rocks over there in the water. And Mayor and I were literally just like pacing back and forth there on the rocks. And like, of course, Mayor was jumping from rock to rock and doing all kinds of dangerous things. And I was like, oh my God, you're going to fall. So I remember that. But then I also remember the conversation and both of us like really debating, like, how do we define personal responsibility for ourselves? And then how do we create that definition as a couple? And then how are we modeling that for our children? And then how are we teaching that for our children? Like, I'll never forget that conversation. Last year, we were in California. We were hiking in Malibu. There's one of these mountains that was near one of the kosher restaurants there. I don't remember the name of the mountain. And when we were hiking in that area, we were near a waterfall. And I remember pausing when we got to that waterfall. There was a huge rock to sit on. And on that rock, we were sitting and having a conversation about what does it mean to raise two teenagers, a boy and a girl, right? Goldie and Mendel are both teenagers now. What does that look like? Like, what kind of conversations are we having? What do we need to make time for? What does our evening routine need to look like, right? Because teenagers open up when it starts getting dark outside and like the house is getting quiet and they start crawling out and they're like, oh, I want to talk to you about these 90 things. And you're like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. Everyone stop talking, right? So I remember that conversation. So this is like the power of intention and reflection, because beautiful things emerge when you actually are intentional about coming together and having those rich conversations. So that's the reflection. Okay. The third part is the experience, right? And this is where the magic comes in, because I love experiences and I do not want a summer full of errands. I want a summer full of magical memories. Magical memories. That is what I want a summer of, not errands. So every summer we've kind of introduced something else, and sometimes we continue the thing we did the year before, sometimes not, whatever it is. So one of the things that we did last year that I actually want to continue again this year is we did a Try New Food Tuesdays. And so every Tuesday, the reason I did this also is because Mendel and Goldie, our older kids, they were in overnight camp for both months last year. So Chayla and Yossi were home. They were in day camp. And I find that with the younger kids, it's a lot easier to introduce new foods because like when the older kids taste it, they start making all their facial expressions and their, voice responses to the food. And the younger kids are just more like receptive to it. So what we did last year is I either like cooked something new or we took them to like a new restaurant or a new cuisine to try something new. And what was really fun is, well, two things. One, Yossi started eating mushrooms because of those Tuesdays. I made mushrooms in like a bunch of different ways. And then he's like, oh my gosh, mommy, I like mushrooms on my pizza. Okay. I have a 7-year-old boy who likes mushrooms on his pizza. It's amazing. Now he eats mushrooms. And Chayla started liking cauliflower. We took them to this really fun restaurant. It's actually a Chinese restaurant. And they made the cauliflower like delicious with this like sweet chili sauce. And Chayla's like, oh my gosh, I like cauliflower. I'm like, great. cauliflower. We're adding it to your palate, right? So that was just such a fun, besides for it being really fun, again, now our kids are eating all these amazing, again, we're not trying new foods like trying new candy or trying new cakes. The new foods are typically new vegetables done in different ways or different types of cuisine, like new proteins or different things cooked in different ways, because we want our kids to grow their palate, right? Eventually, your palate can't just be pastas and breads or things like that. So that is one of the experiences. Another experience is just once a week, weekly fun night. So it could be something as simple as we play a board game that night, or we bring out our projector and we watch a movie or watch something while the kids are in the pool. Again, nothing fancy. Typically something that doesn't cost money is what we're typically going for. And it's just a fun night where it's just consistent joy, right? It's just, hey, it's fun night. What are we doing, right? Sometimes it's literally popcorn, and Yussie makes the most amazing popcorn. That kid knows how to season popcorn like a pro. He learned how to do it last summer when we did popcorn, and he's like, I want to season. I'm like, go for it. And he made popcorn 4 different ways with sweet chili line chips from Trader Joe's. He made a caramel version. He made a salt and pepper version, salt garlic version. So super fun. And then Mayor and I also commit to doing one new experience together that we've never done before. So maybe we're taking a cooking class, or we're going kayaking, or 2 summers ago we did glass blowing, which was so cool. So really what that is about is us experiencing something new together. So we're not just parenting alongside each other, right? Yes, we are parenting together, and we're an incredible parenting team. But we're also a couple. We're also a unit. And are we enjoying each other's company when we're not parenting, right? So that is the experience. And lastly is the rhythm, okay? The difference between a great summer and a restorative summer is rhythm. It's not about the one big trip or the one big thing or whatever it is, right? It's the rhythms that anchor us, that we return to, that we do even when the week is crazy. Guess what? In Florida, sometimes it gets crazy here this summer. It rains for like 5 days straight, or it is so brutally hot outside that you cannot be outside for more than 5 minutes because it's dangerous. Like your heart will start hurting. It is so hot. And I saw this line somewhere. It was like, stop chasing spontaneity and start designing your life for peace. And like the reason why I adopted this framework for summer, it's not because I'm obsessed with planning. I'm actually not. I have really led my business through raising 4 kids while building this company. I've led the business through a very difficult personal season of grief. I've stood in burnout and the edge of burnout again and again. And I finally said, never again. And that was when I really chose these summer rhythms where I wanted to be present. I didn't want pressure. I wanted to really understand, how will we be protecting our marriage, my mothering, my mind, my soul. And maybe that is literally just summer. Just what you need most this summer is stop chasing a perfect summer and choose a nourishing summer. Choose a summer that feeds you, that fuels you, that is full of meaning. All of those things. So I'm going to leave you with just a couple of reflective questions. If you're driving, go back and listen to this episode so you can write them down. What do you want your intention to be for this summer, right? What drained you last year that you want to make sure you don't bring into this coming year? What is an experience that you really want to experience this summer, or something that you want to protect? This is your life. You have one beautiful, precious life. Do not wait for September and the fall to get your life back. Summer is your map. It's a roadmap and this compass for the year. So I really hope that today's conversation sparked inspiration, something to think about. If you want, take time, listen to it with your partner. What I really hope for you is that you take something from this episode that makes your summer bring you more joy, more peace, more sunshine. All right. Love you all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. Take care.
If you are loving the Schools of Excellence podcast and have gotten any value out of it for your school, I would love if you can do 2 things for me. 1, subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And 2, can you please leave us a review? Reviews help other school leaders know that this is the place to learn how to build a school of excellence. And I would be so grateful if you can do that for us. Your help and support makes this show to be able to be listened by the thousands of other school leaders all around the world. Thanks so much for listening, for giving us your time and attention each and every week. And I appreciate that you have joined us.
If your accountant has ever told you to cut back on professional development or slash your teacher appreciation budget or your staff development budget just so you could stay afloat, or has told you, hey, you probably can't go invest in that program, please listen. The problem is not that you're spending too much money on your people or yourself or your investment or your support system. It's that your school has invisible money leaks that are draining your profit, leaks that no spreadsheet will ever catch or accountant. So I created the 6 money leaks of schools that show you the 6 core areas that schools lose money every single month without realizing it. If you close even one of them, your profits will start to soar without sacrificing your team. Go get it now and stop blaming the things that are actually building your school.